Hi everyone, it's Bethany. In this video, we're gonna have so much fun playing with the Betterpress, and I haven't brought that back in a while, so we're going to get the whole system out and play around and create a couple of new cards with some brand new products that Spellbinders has just sent. They've actually sent me a wide variety of products lately, and I can't wait to share more about them in this video. I'm just going to show a little haul before we create our projects. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the brand new products. This is this beautiful Betterpress plate. This has registration plates with it because it's allowing us to do two different colors. As you can see, we're going to press the Celebrate, and then separately we can press the little floral embellishments next. So we're going to really dive into that today. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it, but this really opens up a lot of doors for us because it allows us to do multiple presses while maintaining positioning, but it also allows us to bring in a lot of different color. Okay, so that is the first product and first card we're going to play around with. The second little set that we're going to play around with, this is gorgeous. So this is the press plate. Isn't this pretty? It's a beautiful floral piece, and I'm really jazzed because it came with coordinating stencils, which makes color so easy, and it's just really relaxing and gratifying to do. So I'll link all of these products down below that we'll be using, but those are going to go together. And then we also have this beautiful sentiment set, and we have some beautiful sentiments up here, but we also have, I love how small and simple the rest of these are. Here is an actual idea for the size. Aren't these gorgeous? So we have those sentiments as well. So we'll play around with that. Now underneath you can see that I have these little trays here. This is actually another really fun product from Spellbinders, and I'm really excited about this because I actually use shoebox lids to go ahead and keep all of my projects organized. So the idea of them actually having a product that is for this is super exciting. You can also use shoebox lids, but I'll show you why these are super cool as well. So I like having these as an addition to my craft room because I like being able to have them placed around, and I can just, as I am getting creative and getting organized for things that I want to start creating, I can start putting things in each little bin and then get things ready. So for example, I can put all of the inks that I want to use in here. I can put all the cardstock. If I'm gonna bring in some alcohol markers, I'll put those in this tray. One super cool thing that my shoebox does not offer is they have these little lids, which makes them stackable. So you can go ahead and close it, have everything ready inside there, but then you can have your next one ready and placed on top. Now, these come in a variety of sizes. So I believe this must be the large set because I also have a medium tray set, and they also have the lids as well. So I will link these down below. I think they're really neat. I think that the little lid alone is a great idea because it allows you to stack it, keeps everything nice and clean. So really jazzed about that. And again, everything that you see me use today will be all listed below the video. So let's go ahead and dive into the first card. So what I have here are the cotton panels that were created for the Betterpress, and I'm going to use that as my paper for this project. I'll link it down below for you so that you can pick some up. It's definitely a really good product to use with the Betterpress. And then I also have my Betterpress system. Now, if you want an unboxing of this whole system and a little bit more in depth, then I will place a video to where I did that so that you can go ahead and rewind and take a look. But what I'm going to do is, this is the system here. I'm going to put the 3 shims right into the bottom. I'll put this little gray piece right back in with the shims underneath. And then we have our little metal piece here. So I can never remember which one is the platen and which one is the chase. So I'm just gonna refer to it as the grid piece and the clear piece because honestly, that's just how I think anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to prep this piece first. So I am going to, let's make sure that that's the right side. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's take this off. We're going to do the floral ones first because I can't wait. I think it's gonna be gorgeous. So I'm going to remove that from the packaging, and then I am doing A2 size cards. So I'll just kind of focus in that area, although this is a tad larger than the A2 size. And then on this, you can also see that we have little registration marks for where we can line up our cardstock. And again, I'm working at that A2 size. So what I'm going to do is just grab, actually, you know what I'll do, because I want to make sure that I use every little bit of this, I'm going to actually put my tape on the back this time. So let me just do a little double-sided washi, and okay, there we go. Then I can just line this up right on the little grid there. Okay, so I have my cardstock on this side. I have my plate right down here, and this is magnetic, so it's super nice. Now let's grab some ink. So I'll move that to the side for the next project. I have a variety of their colors here, and they actually sent me over some of their latest colors. I kind of want to use this cruise on the next card. I think that is gorgeous, but I think for this, I am going to just use the Betterpress black. Okay, so I'll place a link to all of their colors. They have really expanded their collection, which is super exciting. So let me go ahead and open this up, and we'll start by just placing this ink all over. Let me know if you ended up investing in the Betterpress system. I think it's really neat. It just gives such a high-end look, and I love that they're now coming out with products that have little registration templates, which we'll do on the next card, that will allow us to use multiple colors. I think that's going to just make it even more fun, but also I think our horizons are going to expand quite a bit with that freedom of doing multiple presses. Okay, so I think I got that. I'm just focusing on these big middles of these flowers really quick, just to make sure that those are pretty solid. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and start pressing, but I want to just make sure I take my time and make sure everything got good ink. Okay, and I think we're good. Okay, so now the next thing that I can do is hopefully that's good. Okay. Now I can take my paper, and it's gonna go paper down, right? So remember, you can see through there where I taped that to this side. We're going to allow the little magnets to attach, okay? And now that's just hovering over it because it's on a little spring system here. And now we're going to use our die cut machine. I'm gonna use the Spellbinders Platinum 6 to run this through, and when it runs through, it's going to press that down, and it'll press that ink up and into the paper. Okay, so again, I am using my Platinum 6, and I'm just going to take the system and we'll just run it through, okay? Excuse my handle, it is a squeaky mess. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now I can just bring up and look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's so hard to show you on camera, but the ink has pressed in to the paper, and it's just gorgeous. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'll clean this off, but because we just pressed this, what I think I'm going to do is allow this a little time to dry before we do our stencils. Okay, so while that dries, oh, isn't that so pretty? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clean my press plate really quick. So I'm going to use this cleaner, and what I like to do is just kind of place it all around and let it sit for just a few minutes. And it just really brings up that ink really nicely. There we go, okay. And I'm just gonna, again, let that set for just a moment, and then we'll just take a wet rag and get that all washed off. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll just do my sentiment really quick. And because I don't want to waste a lot of paper, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it up in the corner here. That way I can line it up just so. And this time I'll just tape my paper right down instead of doing the double side. The other time I wanted to make sure that the ink reached the edge, and I'll probably trim this down, but I still wanted to have a lot of creative freedom there. So Here we go. We're going to do the exact same thing. Again, also just allowing some time for my first little panel to dry. That way we can start the ink blending. It's all inked up. Place that down and we'll run it through. And there we go. One thing I needed to remember, though I think I'm okay this time, is I need to remember to give myself enough room for that coordinating die to fit around. I did, but just so you know, just make sure that you're not putting it too incredibly close to the edge. But I also wanted to preserve as much of this cotton cardstock as I can. Okay, cleaning up, and let's start ink blending with those stencils. And I think this is okay. You might want to double check, but I actually just add that cleaner right to my little base here and get that nice and clean as well. Okay, so first what I want to do is I know I'll trim down the sides just a little bit. So I'll focus and I have some leftover tape. I'll focus my tape just on the sides here, just to get this into position. And let's bring out those stencils. I also want to talk about another new product from Spellbinders. They have some blender brushes. Okay, so, oh goodness, we have lots. Oh, more than I thought. Okay, so 6 stencils. Beautiful, we have that. So I'm probably gonna pick a pink for that. Just kind of getting an idea of where I want to go. Maybe a lighter pink for that. Maybe an orange. And, ooh, let's see, where are we here? Okay, leaves. So we will do a nice spring green and another green and maybe just a lighter tone of the green. Okay, so let me grab the ink. Okay, so here are the colors that I pulled. I'll do watermelon, pink lemonade, I'll do creamsicle, and then for my greens, I'm gonna do sprout and grasshopper. Okay, so let's go ahead and show off the new blender brushes. So look how big these are. I'm gonna give you a size example. So these are the size that I usually use. Look how much bigger they are. That's really neat. So I'm gonna use this for a couple of them, but obviously I only have, they sent me over 2. So I don't have enough to do all of my colors, and I like to keep them pretty separate. That way my brushes stay pretty true to color. So I'm gonna go ahead and use them for some of them. That way we can test them out and see how they work. But then I'm gonna bring in some other ones as well. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to do, that looks good. Just positioning this just so. I'm going to do the first color, watermelon. Okay, so here's our first color. And again, we'll use one of these nice new, oh, wow. I'm not used to having that much surface area to work with. Okay, so here is our first color. Oh, I already know I like it. This would be a nice size for big panels like this. Of course, if you were doing smaller sections, then it could get, you'd have to do a lot of masking, right? Because it would be hard to just do little detailed spots with such a big brush. But really nice and smooth. I like it a lot. Really nice. Okay. And that watermelon color is just gorgeous. Someone asked if, like why I tap off and if that's wasting ink. I don't think so, because I always go back and grab it. But what I'm doing is I'm initially tapping off that kind of blunt color that kind of is blotchy on the brush. That way it just softens it a little bit and I get more of a nice smooth blend of color. And then I usually go back and grab some. But honestly, if it's wasting a little bit, it's wasting a little bit. It is what it is, but I'd rather have my project turn out the way I'd like it than, you know, just to not like my project just to save a tiny bit of ink. So that's that. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see. There's these sides. Here is that first color of watermelon. I'm gonna set these to the side and I'll clean them off in just a bit. And let me save my tape. The next color that I'll do will be pink lemonade. What would be cool as well is if you wanted to do an offset. I'm just lining these up just right. But I've done a really fun card recently where I did more of an offset and it was super, super pretty. I'm gonna use one of my smaller brushes for this color. Okay, and we'll go right in with that pink lemonade. This is such a gorgeous color. This card is making me so excited for spring, all of these colors. I think I am ready for spring. It's been a little bit of a long winter, but it's also been a really enjoyable winter, so I'm really grateful for it. Okay, so there's that. Let's peel this one up. And there's our second color. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, then we will open up the creamsicle. And let's see, we're going to do, I think it is this. Yep. And here we are with creamsicle. This is a gorgeous color. I've always kind of shied away from orange. It hasn't been my favorite, but I realized it's just that I haven't found the love of my life of orange, and this is absolutely it. It's more of a sherbet. It's just my style. I really like it. So probably seeing a lot of this color coming into my cards. It's been a long time without an orange, so I'm finally happy to have fallen in love with one. Okay, getting all of these little openings. Here we go. And look at that orange. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. Okay, and then we're gonna bring in some greens. Now I have 3 remaining stencils, but I have, let's see if we can bring some of these colors in so we can really watch them come to life. I have a sprout and I have grasshopper for my last 2 colors, but I have 3 stencils. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in sprout. Let's see. I think I'll bring in sprout on some of the, let's do it on this. And then I'm going to do the grasshopper color. I'll do that twice, but one I'll do a little bit heavier handed, and then the other I'll do a little bit lighter. That's how I kind of like to play with colors sometimes, is not necessarily grab a ton of ink, but maybe just differentiate the tones that I use. Okay, let's go ahead and bring back in, I'm gonna grab a new one this time. We'll do sprout. Okay, ooh, that's pretty. Nice and springy. I really do like these brushes. Again, though, I'm really seeing that they would be better for big projects. And in my heart, I'm actually really thinking that it would be helpful if you were mass producing things, because it just, the size makes it really quick too. So I'll have to maybe grab a couple more of these so I can have one for each color. That would be super helpful. Okay, because these are both greens that I'm working with, and I started with my lighter green, I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the same brush for the grasshopper. Okay, let's peel this right on up. Oh, it's so pretty. And there's some intentional areas where, you know, they have the stencil not quite lined up. I've noticed it on a few little areas, and it really just adds to a fun look for it. As I was speaking to earlier with kind of doing an offset, I think that's kind of neat. Gives it a really unique look. Okay, let me open this little one up here. Okay, so grasshopper. I feel like this is a very, very bold color, so let me maybe start with my, again, I'm going to do this twice, so I'm going to start with my light, because the other stencil has more of the tiny little leaves, and maybe we'll go bold there. Okay, so again, this first one was more on the light side, and then the next we'll use the same color and go bold. Ooh, really pretty. Goodness, these colors are so fun. I hope it's inspiring you to think spring. Okay, and finally, same color, just much more rich. So I'm gonna really be heavy with that. I'm gonna add some more tape as well. I feel like my stencil is ready to shift. So we really need to get that one down. Okay, Some of these pieces, after they've been used, they kind of just need a good replacement. Okay, there we go. Okay, so final answer, highly, highly recommend these brushes. I'd be interested to see how they do like a blend together. Like if you were making a rainbow blend, I think that because of the size of them, it would create a really nice soft blend. So our last one, oh, that is so pretty. Goodness. Now I don't want to give this card out. I want to keep it. It's so pretty. Okay, so there is our color. Let me go ahead and just remove all of this tape. Now, again, I am trimming this panel down, so where you see an absence of color, once we remove this tape, it's going to be okay. And in fact, even if I didn't trim it down just enough, as I was saying, that stencil had little areas where it created an absence of color, so it actually looks like it fits in pretty nicely. You can barely tell. Okay, so there is the final look of that. Isn't that precious? It's so pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that sentiment. And I'm also going to grab the little coordinating die. Let's see, it's going to be, I believe it's this one. Okay, and I did just enough room. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, tape this down and we'll run this through our die cut machine. And I'm also going to trim this completely down because I want to preserve the niceness of this paper. Sometimes when you run it through the die cut machine, it takes on all of the little cuts of the press plates, or the cutting plates, sorry. So if you can cut it down and avoid that, then it keeps it nice and fresh. Send that through to get trimmed out. And while my die cut machine is out, I'm also going to trim down my panel. There we go. I'll have to remove a little bit of tape on the right, but pretty. I'm just going to grab some cardstock and I'm going to cut this out a couple more times. That way I can glue those pieces together and create some dimension. Actually, I'm pausing here for a second because Spellbinders sent me over some of their craft foam. And I'm wondering, I love this pink. I also love the light pink. Ooh, you know what? Final answer is this almost peach. It kind of takes on my favorite new orange, but I'm wondering if I can trim this out and I'll just create my dimension that way with just some foam. And then we get a little pop of color as well. I've been wanting to try this craft foam, and it's just been one of those seasons right now where there is just so much to do and so little time to do all the things. So let me try this out now, and I'll link that foam down below for you. I love all of the colors. They're so pretty. Let's see how that did. That trimmed that. Oh, it did. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm thinking what we can do is we'll glue these together and then that will be our dimension, but we also have some fun color there too. I think that will be super interesting. Okay, let's put these away, grab our panel real quick, and let's trim this down a little bit. In fact, I'm just gonna use my paper trimmer. So here's my little paper trimmer, and I am going to take off 1/8 of an inch off of each side. And the only reason I'm going to do it off of each side is because then I can remedy any places where that tape was and gave us an absence of color. Again, it really doesn't matter too much. Okay, do that. And go down to 4. And we'll go down to 5 1/4. Okay, final dimensions of this will be 4 by 5 1/4. So pretty, nice and polished in the corners. Okay, so I refreshed some of my craft supplies recently. I'll place a link to an Amazon haul that I just filmed and shared, just sharing some new things that I brought into my craft space, but this little scoreboard is one of those things, and I am just trying to step out of my comfort zone more and more each time I craft, and I think what I'll do is I will do a colored card base here. This is Nectar from Concord 9th, and it is my absolute heart. I love it so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score right at 5.5. This is sized at 11 by 4.25. So that half of 11 will be 5.5, giving us our top folding card. And that will be at a final A2 size. Okay, just trim, not trim, but let's get that all placed down. Okay, love that. Put this little guy right back in here. Okay, now let me open up. You could also trim down the foam and do a whole foam panel on the back, that foam that I was sharing earlier. Look at that match too, pretty. Okay, and that's how you could do, you know, a little pop-up if you'd like. I'm just gonna use some foam tape on here just to give a little bit of dimension. Okay, let me add just a few little strips here. These pink scissors are also new. And my goodness, I couldn't quite figure out if they were non-stick when I was sharing them in my little haul, but they absolutely are. So those are fantastic. Let's get the little backs off of here. Okay, wonderful. And then let's get this nice and straight. Oh, that colored card base was absolutely the right choice. So pretty. Okay, now let's grab some liquid glue and let's see how this does staying put with paper. It should be fine. Get that glue all the way around there in the little corners. Okay, and then hover that over. So talk about instant dimension. That's just wonderful. Plus, you're given that opportunity to bring a little color into, which is very exciting. Okay, what I'll do is grab a stamp block and let this sit for just a moment. I also, in the meantime, have a couple different sequins options that we could do. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this to the card. And I'm thinking that looks really fun. And also, oh gosh, what should I do? I don't know, I kind of like that now. No, I'm gonna do, I like this. Do it right there. Pretty. Okay, now with the, I think I'm gonna go with the peach. I think that will be pretty. Let's see what we can do in terms of, do we want to do maybe a flower center or just add some here and there? So we could just kind of add some sparkle around the card. We could just do our normal kind of trio that hugs the sentiment. I feel like those are kind of getting lost and maybe it's not even needed. Although I think it would be really pretty on the lighter pink where we did the pink lemonade. It's just something, and I think I will. So everywhere there is a tiny little pink flower, we'll just add a little embellishment to the center. And it may not stick out right away, but I think it's one of those things where in real life when you're enjoying the card, that little hint of sparkle will be something that just elevates it just enough. If you don't have this sequins mix, you must add it to your craft collection. It's so good. Okay, I think that's fun. Oh, I'll show you in a minute when I lift the card up why I think that that is going to be amazing, because when it's kind of just laid down, it's not really doing much, but we're gonna love it. And I am going to skip that one just because I don't want the sequins to fall too far off of the card panel. So we'll let that one just be its own. Okay, and okay. All right. I finally got my sequins wand back. Well, I had to repurchase it and get a new one because my other one broke. Oh, couldn't be happier. I feel like all of my favorite things really, truly brought this card together. Okay, look how pretty that is. I really like the addition of the sequins. I feel like it doesn't pop out right away because it's taking on the shape from behind it, but I think in real life that is just so pretty. So this is so fun. I really loved all of the spring vibes of this card, but let's not stop. Let's go ahead and bring that next set out and let's learn how to do 2 different colors at once on a card. Okay, so we're going to do 2 different presses this time because we have 2 press plates. So let's open this up using the same materials. I have that cotton cardstock in the white. It comes in 3 different colors. One's a white, one is kind of a cream color, and then they have a nice gray as well. And this time we're going to have an addition of a little template here. So this is going to help us line up everything. This, I believe, gets taped right to our little bottom piece. So I'll do that. And that. Okay. Hopefully that's going the right way, but I'll double check. And then let's start with our Celebrate because I can't wait a second longer. I really want to see that blue that I had picked out. So I want to bring some color in. So yes, that's going the right way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in this case, I don't know if it's hard to see there. Let me zoom in just a bit there. There is a dark black and there's a dark kind of hunter green. We're going to put that on the black. And then you can just nudge it into position once it's on there. Okay. And then on this side, let's move this over a little bit. We're going to tape, just like last time, right down onto this side. Okay. So tape there and tape here. Okay. Then let's get the color. Although I feel like now I'm in like a pink mood. So let me see if they have anything that will kind of match. Even the apricot would be super pretty as well. I don't know. I really want to try the cruise. Oh, I'm stuck between these 2. I'm feeling like I need to do the cruise. It's speaking to me. I can't let it go. So I'm going to place that all over. And again, these are the Betterpress inks, but now they have some new releases for some fun colors. They had some color originally that I unboxed with my, was it? Yes, I think they had in the original box some new colors, but now they have a lot, so it's exciting to see. I'm happy people are enjoying this product because it gives us another exciting way to create. Okay, so there's the cruise. I think that is going to be really, really pretty. And then put this on this way, bringing back my die cut machine, and let's go ahead and run this through. Oh my goodness, how pretty. Okay, I missed a little spot up there and I don't think you can rerun it. They don't recommend it, but because I'm gonna end up redoing it because I just don't think I did a great job there, I'm going to try. Now the reason they don't want you to is because you're not guaranteed that you're gonna line it up exactly each and every time. But I would rather just try and know I did try than waste more paper. So let's just give it a try. Let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, then it's because they told us so. Okay. And it's because all of these little magnets, you know, they can shift, so you're not truly given an exact alignment each time, which is why the new registration marks to help line up. But we did it. Okay, we got lucky. Let's just run with it. But I was saying, which is why the registration marks are so handy because then it allows us to get proper alignment. I can't believe that worked. Okay, for fun, because we're here, let's, I'm gonna clean this off and let's try the apricot because now I'm just curious on what that would look like. And I'm not wasting here because I'll just end up making another card with it later. This one's a little bit easier to see as well. So hopefully I get a nice, even impression here. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love them. I love them both. Let's see. Let's see them together. Here is this. They're so pretty. I think I'm going to go with the first one. Okay. So now let's take this little one off. We are going to use the same panel and line it right up. Now, normally your panel would have stayed on there, right? But we were testing out some different colors. So now, actually I didn't need to take that tape off, didn't I? That's okay. But now what we'll do is put that second plate on. Now this time we will use the green little template. Just like that. And I think what I'll do for just a nice contrast is I'll do black for my flowers. Looks good to me. So now, place this right back on top and run it back through the Platinum 6. How pretty is that? Oh my goodness, I love the simplicity. Okay, bringing my paper trimmer back in here, I'm going to trim this down a little bit more than the last one. I think I will take 1/4 inch off each side. And that will leave us with a final size of 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Okay, I went around and around and around the merry-go-round of choosing a color for a cardstock base, but I truly think that for my style and my vision, I'm gonna go with a white cardstock, and this is a 110-pound cardstock, same dimensions as last time, so 11 by 4 1/4, and then we'll place our center score right at 5.5. I just really want to keep this card really simple. So I think the white card base is going to help me achieve that. Okay, back with the foam tape. This card, I feel like I kept it very simple, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's just the vibe and the look you're going for. Whereas the other card, we went bold. But I think sometimes a nice simple card, I love it. I love that the color remains with that green. Okay, I went ahead and pressed a sub-sentiment, a little happy anniversary. Actually, that's not quite straight on there, so I don't know that I can cut that straight. Let's see here. Okay, that time I did get it nice and straight. And it's important that you use the little grid lines on the machine so that you have a better chance of getting a nice straight cut for this part. Okay, and then for the little ends, I'm just going to come in with my scissors and trim those. Okay, so now we have a nice little sub-sentiment. We'll grab just a tiny little foam strip for the back. Now, there are so many places you could do this. You could put it in the white space. I actually am going to bring it up. I don't want to bring it all the way up and remove the little middles of the letters. And I know if I bring it down, you're like, Bethany, you're covering up the florals. But visually, I'm just okay with that. I think it kind of makes it interesting for me. So I'm going to do that. I think that's fun. It adds a little layering as well. All right, and that is where I'm stopping. I think these turned out super fun. I am absolutely in love with the idea of being able to layer with the Betterpress system. That's going to give us so many more opportunities to bring in some color, but be successful in doing so. And I am in love with this set, especially with the coordinating stencils. It gives you some time to relax and do some easy coloring. So let me know if you decide to pick up any of these products. Thank you to Spellbinders for including me and sending these over so I could have fun and have a little crafty afternoon of peace. So thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and let me know if you snag any of these goodies. I'll see you in the next video.